welcome back to another Salty Scout from Scout Sailing. In April we sailed Scout from Puerto Rico to St. Croix and then up to St. John in the US Virgin Islands before going via the British Virgin Islands and then on to St. Kitts and Nevis, and then on from there we went to Montserrat and we finished off in Guadeloupe. The quaint coastal town of Deshaies in Guadeloupe is actually the setting for a very popular British-French crime comedy drama television series called Death in Paradise. It was at Le Madras, or Catherine's restaurant, where we tried a local dish called accras de morue, which is basically cod or fish fritters, which were very tasty. I thought it would be fun to fry some fish fritters of my own. First, I took the salted cod and immersed it in some water for about 12 hours just to rehydrate it and to get rid of some of the salt. After the soaking, I then boiled the salted cod just for about 10 minutes just to soften it up. I then drained off the water and flaked the cod in a bowl. I then set aside the salted cod and prepared the spring onion scallions, the pepper, in this case I'm using green habanero, and the parsley. So I finely chopped the spring onions and the parsley and the pepper. You can maybe add more or less of these if you want, but I was really working on about half a cup for the spring onions and for the parsley. I then minced all of those three ingredients in a mini food blender. For the batter mix, I then measured out the 3 cups of the flour and the 2 cups of the water, and also the half a teaspoon of baking soda. And you can add, if you want, a half a teaspoon of baking powder too, if you're just using plain flour. I also added half a teaspoon of salt as I'd rinsed the salted cod beforehand. I then mixed all of those ingredients together to form a stiff batter, and then I added the scallions, the parsley and the chili pepper to the mix as well. I then mixed in the salted cod to the batter. In a deep saucepan, I heated up some vegetable oil, and once it was hot, I then tested it with 1 teaspoon of the batter. I then popped about a teaspoon of batter into the vegetable oil and cooked it in batches. So here we have the fish fritters, and typically here in the French West Indies you eat them with as an appetizer with a cocktail. So I think that's what we're going to do. Alright, well, cheers then. So let's see what they're like to eat. You can see the green onions, the chili and the parsley.